Yeah. So I'll give a shout out now. And I'm like, we don't have an affiliation. I'm not gaining anything from this, but Brian Lubin is his name. And his like mastermind is called Action Academy. And what he teaches basically what he calls passionate income. So like, people might be, I'm having a hard time putting the words to this. I think I could hear people say, well, isn't that nice that you have the ability to quit your job and, move on, right? Like,
Yeah.
not everyone is in that position. So I will say it's not always possible to just say, okay, well, I've made this decision. I need to make a change. I quit my job. Totally get that.
Yep.
However, you could also make a mental shift and then start chasing passionate income, right? So like if you're in a job you hate, or maybe it's not a job, maybe anything, right? Relationship, you could make an exit strategy, and that alone could bring some life back to you, and start chasing something that you're passionate about, right? You and I had the blessing of having some other income, support from spouse, whatever it is that was creating that ability to sort of shift gears. But you may not have it, and that's fine. Start chasing the thing that does bring you life. You may not be able to quit tomorrow, but maybe it's a year from now. Set that goal. I'm going to start chasing something else that brings me joy, and get out of that thing that's really dragging you down. So part of this too is like encouragement. It's like, it may not be possible tomorrow, but it's definitely possible. And it's also, to Ben's point, the short-term pain might be hard, but oh my gosh, so much better long-term. And our life is shockingly long.
Yeah.
And if you're miserable, it's really long.
Well, it's also like the same thing. Like, what's the prospect of living this same day? That's like, I guess that's another way of me describing it. It's like I felt like I was living the same day over and over and over again. It was like Groundhog Day.
But
like,
not funny.
Yeah, you were actually Bill Murray and like smashing the alarm clock. Like that, and it felt like that a couple of days, and it wasn't always, and it was ebbs and flows. Like not everything is like this dire, and it may not even be that dire to you. It may not be this like overwhelming, crushing thing. It may just be like pseudo annoyance, right? But if it's pseudo annoyance at all times for 4 years in a row, are you willing to accept that? Right? And maybe the answer is yes, because you have a passionate thing, right? But if it's the thing that's consuming you, or if it's the thing that's dragging you personally down, or your relationships down, or your business down, that's when it becomes a different thing.
Yeah. And to be very honest about me again, I think it was really hurting my parenting. Like, I would have less patience with my kids. And that's the worst thing. Like, it's even hard to say and be honest about, but it's reality. Like, I would be more short or less patient or less present would be a better way to say it. Right. Like, even if I was there, I wasn't really there. Like, my mind was occupied. I was like, just not really fully wholly myself. And it hurt relationships, but it also hurt my parenting. The worst part about it all is those people I was doing that to had nothing to do with it. Right. Like, to say I was not being the best dad I could be is so hard to say, because the only thing in the world my kids want at this age is more time with me and Marie, which is like such a cool thing. And I was throwing it away. So like, that alone was worth saying, well, we're going to have less money in the near term for sure to shift gears like this. However, if it makes me a better father, I would rather live in an apartment and be a great dad than live in a bigger house and not be present.
Yep.
So like, again, just one more reminder of, and the reason I said that was just to be very honest and transparent, is like, that's a shortcoming big time of mine in those times. And that really stinks. So I don't want to be that way. And I don't ever want to have that again. So encouraging the same thing.
I had the same realization. It's like, and unfortunately, I didn't realize it until I was back out of it. It's like, Luke, my son, he loves piggyback rides. Like, he's in like piggyback ride zone right now. That's all he wants. Like, when he's going to bed, piggyback every night. And I realized there was a bunch of days I was like, no, just like, go to bed. And then I come to realize, like, why not? Like, I have a limited window here of like piggyback land, right? And he's going to remember that. I know for sure, like, that's going to be similar. Like, Dad used to give me piggyback rides to bed every night, but by me choosing to not do that, I was too busy, I was too overwhelmed, I was too preoccupied, I was grumpy. Like, what the hell? Like, that's what myself, like, me seeing that now and looking back, it's like, dude, what the hell? And I don't know. That's why I wouldn't have this conversation with people. Is like, it's not about being preachy. It's not even like, we're not psychologists. We're not trained in this. We just have had this experience that we've walked through. Is to be like, hey, you're not alone. If you're feeling this way, or have you felt that way, or if you feel it in the future, you're not alone. And like, there are people out there you can talk to, but it's like, it's real. It happens. It happened to us.